Bayang mag-ibiw, perlas ng sinanganan, hanap ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, buyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwalhating pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga abig, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together today. We ask that you open our hearts, minds, and souls as we discover more about the world around us. We pray that you will guide us in all ways so that we will seek your will in everything that we do. We ask all of this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you. Maupo na po tayo. We would like to thank our resource persons who are with us today and to our invited guests. Also, I want to thank my colleagues to be present with us. So I'd like to ask our ComSec please to acknowledge them and recognize them today.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. For today's meeting, we have in attendance the following members. Vice Chairperson of the Committee, Congressman Antonino B. Roman, the third. Member for the Majority, Congresswoman Bella Vanessa Suansing. Member for the Minority, Congressman Jose Manuel Tadeo Chocno. Deputy Minority Leader and ex-official member, Congressman Jesus Manuel Bongsuntay, former chairperson of this committee. Member for the Majority, Congressman Alexander T. Pimentel. Good afternoon, sir. And member for the Minority, representing Cabrera, Congresswoman Sarah Jane Elago. Also, we have with us the authors of the bills, Congressman Lorenz, Defensor from the 3rd District, Iloilo. Good afternoon, sir. Congressman Maximo B. Rodriguez Jr., Party List Bamin. That would be all, Your Honor. Chair.
Okay, I believe that we have a quorum at this time. So we need to approve minutes of the previous meeting. So if I would be able to hear a motion to actually waive the reading of the minute. All right, been moved and seconded. So we are going to waive the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting. I'd like to now to please give my preliminary remarks. As the chairperson of the Committee on Human Rights, isang mapagpala, malugod at kapaki-pakinabang na umaga sa ating lahat o hapon sa mga kasama ko mambabatas sa ating mga panauhin at mga kapwa manggagawa sa pamahalaan. Bilang chairperson ng committee ito, ako ay pauna nagpapasalamat sa inyong papaunlak sa aming imbitasyon upang ating muling pag-aralan, pag-usapan at pagdebatehan kung kinakailangan. Sinupin ang mga propisyon at sa huli ay buuin ang bersyon na kumakatawan sa ating mga idea at suwestyon upang higit na mapabuti ang panukalang batas ukol sa Commission on Human Rights Charter. The CHR Charter Bill has been in the legislative mill since the 13th Congress. It only made its significant progress during the 14th Congress under the chairmanship of Congressman Erin Tanyada, when the House passed the bill on third reading and transmitted it to the Senate. In the 19th Congress, we also approved this bill on third reading. It got transmitted to the Senate, and yet it suffered the unfortunate fate as before. Just to put on record, the following bills are included in the agenda today. House Bill number 349, authored by Representative Adiong. House Bill number 433, authored by Representative Leila de Lima. House Bill number 1798, Representative Rufus Rodriguez and Maximo Rodriguez Jr. House Bill number 3041, Representative Vanessa B. Suansing. House Bill number 4835, Representative Jonathan Keith Flores, and House Bill number 4946, authored by Representative Lorenz, Defensor. In general, the bill under consideration emphasized the functional independence and fiscal autonomy of the CHR, vest it with quasi-judicial powers, strengthen the investigative, monitoring, and vistorial powers, and provide provisional remedies for the protection of rights of all persons, especially the vulnerable and the marginalized. In addition, the bills define the composition of the Commission, the qualifications, appointment, and term of office of the commissioners, as well as their salaries and privileges that are consistent with existing laws, rules, and regulations. The carefully crafted proposals deserve a page in our legislative annals. Thus, I implore you, my dear colleagues, to support the Chair and the Commission on Human Rights to make history happen. Let us push firmly but surely for this measure. Let us all work in full accord to enact the Charter and achieve the following significant gains. Firstly, we must finally address the need for greater transparency and accountability, for full respect for human dignity and the rule of law, meaningful participation, and equality for all. We have learned from the hearings of the Quad Committee that human rights were heavily trampled upon, as proven by the scores of extrajudicial killings and other forms of human rights violations perpetrated under the Duterte administration. We say, never again to these acts of blatant disregard for our constitutionally guaranteed rights to life, liberty, and genuine freedoms. Second, we should adhere to our international commitment as a member state of the United Nations, in particular to establish our own national human rights institution, which is the CHR, whose mandates must in turn comply with the standards set out in the Paris Principles endorsed by the UN General Assembly in 1993. It's an honor and privilege for our country to have been granted status A accreditation by the Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institutions based on the criteria enunciated in the Paris Principles. This status could be maintained with ease and perfection if our proposed bill is passed into law. And finally, we uphold the ideals of the Constitution by giving due recognition to the CHR as a constitutional office with powers and functions that allow performance of its mandate with vigor, rigor, and independence. While the Bill of Rights articulate the spirit and essence of human rights, it is the Commission on Human Rights being the primordial body created under the Constitution to investigate all forms of human rights violations as the vanguard of our human rights. At this juncture of our national imbroglio, I challenge the present administration to enact this bill and include it as one of the priority measures under the LEDAC. We cannot afford to make missteps any longer, as we are all united in our call for bagong Pilipinas. We declare a war against impunity, against lack of transparency and accountability. We are in urgent need for a strengthened, highly functional, and independent Commission of Human Rights. So before we proceed to the conduct of this meeting, let me state some procedural guidelines. The order of speakers shall be in this manner. Authors would first be recognized, to be followed by representatives of government agencies, and then the non-governmental organizations. Authors and members are allowed at any point during deliberations to manifest their motions, queries, and ideas. Unless there are pertinent questions, the chair is now ready to open the deliberations for this meeting. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. So, we have the sponsorship remarks of the authors. Yes. Okay. First of all, we'd like to call Representative Maximo Rodriguez Jr. To give his sponsorship remarks on House Bill number 1798. You recognize Honorable Rodriguez.
Chairman, thank you. And in addition to your very exhaustive introduction, I would like just to add that this bill, House Bill 1798, embodies the needed reforms to be given so that appropriate laws can be enacted. First, to provide effective and expanded structural, operational, and functional independence in order to meet the minimum requirement under the principles relating to the status of national human rights institutions. Secondly, guarantees Commission on Human Rights full fiscal autonomy to ensure prompt, immediate, unrestricted discharge of its functions. Thirdly, it will define the general powers and functions of the Commission with its full authority to act on any complaint or motu proprio in cases of human rights violation. And fourthly, it vests with the Commission on Human Rights the power to issue injunctive reliefs and legal measures. That's all, Chairman, and thank you for this opportunity. Okay.
Thank you very much. Here for House Bill number 3041.
Yes,
You
Mr. Chair.
are recognized, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the sake of time and for the sake of expediency, I would move to adopt the explanatory note as my sponsorship speech. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. Then we have Representative Lorenz, Defensor, principal author of House Bill number 4946. You're recognized, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would be happy to give my sponsorship speech in plenary together with the chairman. But in the meantime, in the interest of time, I'm happy to hear that the CHR will have its fiscal autonomy once we pass this bill. I move that the explanatory note of my bill be adopted as my sponsorship speech for this committee. Thank
All
you,
right.
Chairman.
It's moved that the explanatory statement of Representative Defensor be included here. So do I hear a second on that? There's a second, so no objection whatsoever. Motion is approved. I would like to also recognize the Deputy Minority Leader Leila de Lima for being present today. And because of this, she is the author of House Bill number 433. We'd like to hear from her as far as the opening remarks of the bill is concerned. Your Honor, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, dear colleagues, and the CHR family and the resource persons present today. I am, of course, adopting the explanatory note of my bill as my sponsorship speech. I just wish to highlight the fact that this bill is long overdue also. The CHR has been in existence for 40 years, and its powers and functions emanate from the Constitution itself. It needs really more powers and functions consistent with the main powers as enumerated in the Constitution. The CHR has been given many mandates, in fact, from many specific or individual pieces of legislation, like being the women gender ombud and also a child ombudsman, and then in the various fora before the international body, and in the UN reports, and it's always been consistently pointed out that the Philippine Commission on Human Rights, as the national human rights institutions, need strengthening, need further support. And the best way to do it is to pass its own charter through these measures that have to be consolidated. Because going over all of these several bills, there are no significant differences. In fact, they can all be properly consolidated, and there should be no further delay in the passage of this measure. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Congresswoman de Lima. Since the 13th Congress, on which I was also the chairman of the Committee on Human Rights, we have the former chairman, Congressman Suntay, with us also here. Matagal na po ito di ba? Matagal na. At hindi palaging na-approve, no? I hope this time na wala na tayong problema ritong i-approve natin. Pangalawa, nakikita naman natin na kahit na meron tayong 7 na bills tungkol dito, ay nagkakasundo naman po halos lahat ng bills. Wala namang objection, walang opposition. I also would like to recognize Representative Jonathan Keith Flores, who is also the author of House Bill number 4835. Would you like to give your remarks on your authorship, Congressman Flores?
Mr. Chair, just adopt the explanatory note attached to the bill as my sponsorship.
All right, noted for that. So, what I'm trying to say is, i-consolidate na lang po natin lahat itong mga bills na ito, and then present that to you. I would like to ask for any motion to invoke section.
Hindi kahamok.
Is there any question among our colleagues here? Or first of all, let's hear the explanation and the remarks of our resource speakers first, no? And then while we're doing that, you could be able to ask any question or any query that you have. So,
Mr. Chair, you
Yes.
said a while ago that we should consolidate all.
yes.
So I think it would be better to consolidate all. Okay, ang daming pinasa, magkakagulo yan kung isahin na lang natin para madali natin maipasa, para maano kagad. Kasi kung isa-isa, ang
Oo.
gulo niyan. Tapos baka mag-contradict pa sila. So, siguro, after hearing all the arguments and the bills, we will move to consolidate all para isa lang.
Yan
Thank you,
ang,
Mr.
yun ang gagawin natin, Congressman Pimentel. We'll just make a motion later on, no?
Okay,
Kaya
thank
pakinggan na
you.
muna natin itong mga ating resource speakers. No?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman.
Yes, actually, Mr. Chair, I was just gonna, I was going to, well, to support the statement of Congressman Pimentel, considering that the various bills has been discussed and well, the ideas and suggestions coming from the different agencies were already submitted during the previous Congress. Although we cannot invoke Article 48, I think Section 48, what we could do is just move for the consolidation of all the bills, and then eventually tackle the consolidated measure after.
Would you like to make a motion now, or let us hear first the explanation and remarks of our resource speakers? What is the decision of the body? Pakinggan naman sila. Alright, madali naman to no? Pati ko wala nang tanong dyan. Wala naman masyadong objection doon sa mga bills, no? At walang talagang opposition. Halos pare-pareho naman ang nais nila ng mga bills na yan. So it would be very easy for us to consolidate it. Okay. So, Comsec, will you please call the first one that would explain?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, I would also, may I be allowed to acknowledge first the resource persons who are in attendance. From the Commission on Human Rights, we have the chairperson himself, Chairperson Richard Palpalato. From the Armed Forces of the Philippines, we have Colonel Eduardo Esquivias, Sir, Acting Director of AFP CLOAC. From the Commission on Higher Education, we have Attorney Hazel Mendoza, Attorney 3, Legal Counsel. From the Department of Budget and Management, we have Ms. Joy Rico, Acting Department Legislative Liaison Specialist. From the Department of Education, DepEd, we have Supervising Education Program Specialist, Mr. Michael Cabrera, Attorney Lemuel Bagay, and Attorney Cristal Migalion. From the Department of Interior Local Government, we have Attorney Noel Sala, Attorney 3 Legal, Legislative, and Liaison Service. From the Department of National Defense, we have Attorney Angelito Castillo, Division Chief External Affairs Division. From the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, we have Mr. Pascual A. Pating, Division Chief Human Rights Division, and Attorney Fritzi Putiao, Attorney Osana Paredes. From the Public Attorney's Office, we have Attorney Noliver Barido, Public Attorney 3, and Mr. Joshua Ponce. From the Philippine Commission on Women, we have Attorney Maria Sofia Isabella P. De Castro, Attorney 3. From the Philippine National Police, we have from the PNP Human Rights Affairs Office, Police Colonel Roman C. Arugay, Police Colonel Joris Cantoria, Police Captain Norichelle Larines. And from the University of the Philippines Institute of Human Rights, Attorney James Gregory Villasis. Good afternoon, sir. That would be all, Chair.
All right. So, Comsec will please call the first that will be giving his explanation.
Yes, sir. May we request Chairperson Palpalatok to do the honors?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, the honorable members of the committee. Good afternoon once again. The Commission on Human Rights of the Philippines was established under the 1987 Constitution as an independent constitutional body with a mandate to investigate human rights violations involving civil and political rights, monitor state compliance with international human rights obligations, and promote human rights awareness. For 38 years, the CHR has operated solely under Article 13, Section 17 to 19 of the Constitution and the Executive Order Number 163, Series of 1987. Without a statutory charter defining its structure, powers, and operational guarantees, the CHR's institutional permanence, fiscal independence, and operational capacity have been limited and threatened. The absence of a legislated charter falls short of the standards set out by the United Nations General Assembly in its resolution number 48134 concerning the establishment and strengthening of the status of national human rights institutions in UN member states, otherwise known as the Paris Principles. These standards require the NHRIs to have, at the minimum, broad mandate to protect and promote human rights, independence from government, which must be embodied in the Constitution or mandated by law, pluralism to support the representation of diverse voices of the community, adequate powers to be capable of initiating inquiries and investigations, gather the evidences and documents they need, consult with non-governmental organizations and state institutions, and publish their reports, findings, and recommendations, among others, and adequate resources so that NHRIs have the funding, staffing, infrastructure, and institutional capacity to perform their functions and discharge their responsibilities. The Philippines, as a UN member state, has the obligation to ensure that the CHR operates within a legal framework consistent with the Paris Principles. This necessitates the adoption of a charter, expanding and strengthening the CHR's powers and duties under the Constitution and Executive Order Number 163. The importance of a legislated charter has been raised through several United Nations human rights monitoring mechanisms and the Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institutions, or GANRI. During the fourth cycle of the Philippines Universal Periodic Review, or UPR, several states recommended strengthening the CHR's independence consistent with the Paris Principles. Furthermore, independent NHRI reinforces the country's commitment with the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly SDG Target 16.A.1, which requires the existence of an independent NHRI in compliance with the Paris Principles. As an NHRI, the CHR undergoes an accreditation process conducted by the GANRI with the National Institution and Regional Mechanism Section, or NIRMS, of the UN, Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights as Secretariat. During the 2023 accreditation, despite reaffirming CHR's A status, the GANRI Subcommittee on Accreditation expressed concerns over CHR's legal mandate under EO 163. The SCA specified several issues regarding the operations of the Commission on Human Rights. it must be noted that the Commission on Human Rights will again undergo the next accreditation process in 2028. Without the timely passage of the CHR Charter, there is a significant risk that the CHR will lose its A status accreditation, which we have maintained since the adoption of the accreditation process by the GANRI. So there is a significant risk that the CHR will lose its A status accreditation and its significant participation rights and independent access to the UN human rights mechanisms. Ultimately, the passage of the CHR Charter illustrates the Philippines' commitment to respect, protect, and fulfill human rights, an imperative the Commission hopes is sufficient to adopt and enact the CHR Charter. And lastly, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, the Commission deeply appreciates the support of the House of Representatives as manifested in the mentioned bills filed concerning the Commission on Human Rights Charter, which hopefully clarifies the mandate and powers of the Commission and strengthen its independence and integrity as a national human rights institution. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Chairman Palpalatok, for a explanation as well said. Let's call on the other contact. Yes. Go ahead, come second. Oh, okay. We'd like to recognize Kong Lima for.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am told that Representative Ziaur-Rahman Alonto Adiong, yes, Representative Adiong is would be late, or no, naipit lang po. And he's the author of House Bill number 349. And in his behalf, I wish to manifest that he is adopting, as his sponsorship remarks, his explanatory note to this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And in addition, Mr. Chair, perhaps it would help abbreviate today's proceedings if we can just ask the resource speakers if any one of them or any of them has any reservation or reservations about the bills or any of the bills, so that we can abbreviate the proceedings instead of hearing out in their entirety their position. They can always submit, of course, their written position paper. But with respect to the proceedings today, perhaps we can hear them out before we finally presents the motion to consolidate these bills and approve and refer this to the TWG for consolidation and approval. If I may, I so move, actually, Mr. Chair.
It's been moved that all of the agencies present should submit their positions on this before the consolidation. So any second on that?
Second.
It was seconded that all of the agencies present today should submit their position papers within 2 weeks. After
Next
this-
week, 1 week na lang po. 1 week. They
1
have
week.
already.
1 week after this meeting. So there's no objection. Motion is approved. Okay.
Move na po kayo. Yung kanina po.
Yeah, okay. To our colleagues, do you have any question on what Chairman Richard said? Any query? Any comment you'd like to make?
Microphone daw po.
Oy. Oh, yeah. Nakasama yung boses ko.
Mr. Chairman, may I be recognized?
Go ahead, go
I'm
ahead.
sure we can dispense with the other guests' comments and positions because they will be submitting. I'd just like to hear if the Department of Budget and Management has no objection to the bill so that we can move forward accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We'd like to hear from the budget and management. Ano ba yan? Okay, sige, go ahead, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the committee, your honors, colleagues in government, and to everyone present in this meeting. I'm Chair Rico from the Budget Information Legislative Service of the DBM. So at the outset, we acknowledge the intention of the bills to strengthen the Commission on Human Rights, which has a mission to seek the truth in human rights issues and prevent incidents of human rights violations. While we do not have a position paper yet, may we manifest our initial observations, Mr. Chair?
All right, what do you mean initial observation? Are you in agreement to the bill, or do you have any disagreement? Because look, we're going have to increase the budget. Why? Because we have a good number of provisions here that we would also like for them to undertake. For example, provide legal aid services. Hindi natin binibigay yan. No? In fact, I was asking the CHR about how many lawyers that they have. We cannot even hire lawyers for the Commission on Human Rights when the Commission on Human Rights would need those lawyers, in fact. So I would like you to clear to us, to make clear to us, what should be your observation on it?
Mainly, Mr. Chair, on fiscal autonomy.
Go ahead.
So it is noted that the Commission on Human Rights was created as an independent office pursuant to Section 17, Paragraph 1, Article 13 of the 1987 Constitution. In addition, Section 17, Paragraph 4, Article 13 of the Constitution states that the approved annual appropriations of the Commission shall be automatically and regularly released. So it was formally constituted through EO number 63, series of 1987. So on the proposal to grant fiscal autonomy to the CHR, pursuant to the ruling of the Supreme Court in Commission on Human Rights Employees Association versus Commission on Human Rights, the CHR, while a constitutional body, enjoys limited autonomy. The CHR does not have the same extent of autonomy as the judiciary, the ombudsman, and the constitutional commissions. So accordingly, an organizational and staffing modification remains subject to the evaluation and approval by the DBM. So relatedly, it is respectfully suggested that the bill could indicate that the proposed organizational and staffing modifications of the CHR shall be submitted to the DBM for review and approval to ensure consistency with the existing established organizational staffing, position classification, and compensation policies, rules, and regulations, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I be
Any
recognized?
comment from
To DBM, considering the structure currently laid out in the bills filed, is there any objection on the part of DBM in terms of composition and organizational structure?
Mr. Chair, considering that there are many bills, may we, as of now, our general comment is that the organizational staffing and modifications shall be submitted to the DBM for review and approval, Mr.
Has
Chair.
CHR submitted to the DBM your proposed structure and organizational?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Can I request the chairman to submit to the DBM as soon as possible tomorrow? Can we do that?
Best effort, Your Honor, tomorrow. But
On or before
maybe we
Friday,
can-
CHR will submit to the
Friday.
DBM. Can I get a reply from DBM by next week? On or before Wednesday next week?
Best effort, Mr. Chair, next week.
Can you submit your reply to us here at the committee?
Best effort, Mr. Chair, next week. Because it's still undergoing complete staff work, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Ma'am Joy, from the side of DBM, currently, the CHR as it is structured in the bill, would the objection coming from the DBM would be in terms of funding, or would it be in terms of the structure itself?
The structure has to be reviewed, Mr. Chair, for consistency with existing policies.
Yeah, we understand. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there any more comments from our colleagues?
Mr. Chair, one last.
Go ahead.
May I request the CHR and the DBM to submit on or before Friday next week so we can consider your position before we constitute the technical working group for the bill.
We will do that, Your Honor.
Noted, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. Is there any more? Yes, Congresswoman Sara.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I have no questions so far, but the Real Women's Party list through this representation would just like to extend and manifest our full and unequivocal support to the bills aiming to strengthen the CHR and to enable the Commission to have empowerment and true independence in the performance of its very important mandate. We believe, Mr. Chair, that an assertive, well-funded, truly empowered, and independent CHR is not only a constitutional imperative, but also a people's demand. Matagal na po itong panawagan ng ating mga kababayan, ng ating taong bayan na naghahangad ng mas malakas at makakasama ng taong bayan pagdating sa paglaban sa kahit anong forma ng paglabag sa karapatang pantao at pagtitiyak ng hindi lang pagrespeto pero pagsasakatuparan ng ating karapatang pantao sa buong bansa. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
just really something clarificatory, a comment and as well as clarificatory. But of course, the representative from the DBM, while she raised some concern about the organizational structure, or that she was just telling us that it should be submitted or it should be referred to or consulted with the DBM. I'm sure there's no objection from DBM or any other agency present about the grant of full autonomy, full fiscal autonomy to the CHR, because that should be the case. Correct? DBM? Because that is not contemplated in any Supreme Court decision or any jurisprudence. Because under, well, at least I'm talking about my own bill, Section 5, House Bill number 1433, the Commission shall enjoy full fiscal autonomy, and its approved annual appropriations of the Commission shall be automatically and regularly released. No objection. Just to be very clear.
Mr. Chair, if I may. Your Honor, as I've mentioned earlier that pursuant to the Supreme Court ruling in Commission on Human Rights Employees Association versus Commission on Human Rights, the CHR, while a constitutional body, enjoys limited autonomy, and it does not have the same extent of autonomy as the judiciary, the ombudsman, and the constitutional commissions, Your Honor.
But it does not specifically point to fiscal autonomy. Yes, there is such a, limited autonomy, mention of limited autonomy, but it does not specifically point to fiscal autonomy because that is not the core issue in that particular case. Do you have that? Do you agree?
Duly noted, Madam, Your Honor, but we will submit our official position on the matter.
Mr. Chair,
Thank you.
may I be recognized?
Go ahead, Congressman Defensor.
While the CHR may not be at par with the judiciary under Article 8 and the constitutional commissions under Article 9, the power of Congress, meaning the House and the Senate, is plenary in nature. And if there is legislation passed granting fiscal autonomy and assuring that every year the annual budget of the CHR will be funded and released automatically, it is within the sole wisdom of Congress to do so in terms of its appropriation. What we are simply trying to avoid is that the CHR will be given another zero budget by another administration. So we support the DBM in terms of how they fiscalize the budget, but it is solely up to the Congress whether or not we grant that fiscal autonomy by passing this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I agree with what Congressman Defensor has said. Any comment on that, Ms. Joy?
Mr. Chair, as it's duly noted, Mr. Chair, but as I've mentioned, we will submit our official position on the matter, considering the Supreme Court ruling mentioned earlier, Mr. Chair.
I don't think there is any problem with Supreme Court ruling, di ba? Wala namang problema ron eh. Supreme Court ruling eh. Oo. So I hope that the DBM will judge we're going to approve this anyway. It will become a law because it has long been standing. You know, dapat na talaga maging patas na ito eh. So, ma-approve to. We just would like to ask the DBM to be more lenient because this concerns human rights. Lahat tayo, human rights is a big problem in this country. See that? Oo. Kaya dapat maging lenient ang DBM tungkol dyan. Sa totoo lang, wala naman kayong leniency sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno. Oo. Wala kayong ginawa kundi mabawas ng budget. Sa lahat ng agency, yan ang complaint palagi ng bawat agency sa Kongreso. Binawasan ng budget namin, binawasan ng budget namin. Look Miss Joy, mas matapang pa kayo sa Kongreso. Kami ang mapapuwas ng budget, hindi kayo, hindi ba? Go ahead,
Mr. Chair, can I be acknowledged?
Yes, go ahead.
So, after hearing all the arguments and the presentation of the sources, I move to consolidate all the bills into one para madali na natin and then we will give them copies para ma-study pa nila kung mayroon pa mga correction.
Second.
All right, so it has been moved and seconded that we consolidate all of these bills into one. So, is there any objection? Okay, so may I make a motion to also direct the Secretariat to consolidate all the bills and prepare a substitute bill for approval on the next meeting? Yes. All right, so is there any objection? No objection whatsoever. 7 minutes. Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Wala.
Oh, wala pang adjournment Mag-adjournment.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.